Is Jody there? I don't see Jody.
I'm here.
Jody, you ready, girl?
We're ready. We have a quorum.
Let's do it. Call to order. Let's go.
You can begin when you're ready.
Good. Call to order. Good afternoon, everybody. The Monday, October 19th, 2020 meeting of the Seattle Park District Board will come to order. It is 5:31. I'm Deborah Juarez, president of the board. Hopefully I'm reelected tonight. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Board member Sawant. Board member Strauss.
Present.
Board member Herbold. Board member Lewis.
Present.
Board member Morales.
Here.
Board member Mosqueda.
Present.
Board member Peterson.
Here.
Board president Juarez.
Here.
6 present.
Great. Okay. Approval of the agenda. There's no objection. The agenda will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the agenda is adopted. Let's go to the first part of this. Election of the president and vice president of the Seattle Park District Board. We're now going to proceed to the election of the president and the vice president of the Seattle Park District Board. These roles function similarly to the chair and vice chair of the Public Assets and Native Communities Committee. Are there any nominations for president of the Seattle Park District? No, someone has to nominate.
I nominate board member Juarez.
Second.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Councilmember Lewis. Okay, just a nomination. I, Deborah Juarez, have been nominated as president of the Seattle Park District. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, great. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Hearing none, the nominations are closed. We will now proceed to vote on the nomination. Will the clerk please call the roll on the nomination?
Board member Sawant.
Yes.
Yay.
Board member Strauss.
Yes.
Board member Herbold.
Yes.
Board member Lewis.
Yes.
Board member Morales.
Yes.
Board member Mosqueda. Board member Mosqueda. Board member Peterson.
Yes.
President Juarez.
Yes.
7 in favor.
Madam President, yes.
8 in
Thank
favor.
you. I was a little bit worried there. You came in under the wire. Thank you.
Again,
So
didn't realize I was on mute. Yes, yes, yes.
I want to thank Councilmember Sawant and Councilmember Herbold for joining us, as well as Councilmember Mosqueda. That was a pretty tense moment there. Glad I cinched the presidency. Thank you. We are now going to proceed to the election of the vice president of the Seattle Park District. I would like to move board member Peterson as vice president of the Seattle Park District. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, the nominations are closed. We will now proceed to vote on the nomination. Will the clerk please call the roll of on the nomination?
Sawant.
Yes.
Strauss.
Yes.
Herbold. Herbold.
She's trying to say yes. Raise your hand.
Sorry about that. Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Morales.
Yes.
Mosqueda. Peterson.
Yes.
President Juarez.
Yes. And
8 in favor. None opposed.
I think Camille's voting yes too. Yes, Alex. Landslide, Councilmember Peterson. Well done. Okay, let's go to approval of the minutes. Wait, the ayes have it, and Councilmember Peterson is elected as vice president. Anyone signed up for public comment?
No, there's no public comment.
Okay, so then do I just close public comment?
Yes.
Okay. And that will take 3 pages away. So then we will say, okay. The public comment period was open. We don't have anyone signed up tonight. We will have a public hearing later on though. So since we don't have any, we will close public comment. Public comment is now closed.
President
go-
Juarez,
Yes.
I believe I might not have put it on your script, but approval of minutes, it may be on page number 4. I believe we need to approve the minutes before the presentation.
I thought I just did that. I did that.
Thank you. I
did
forgot
approve.
to write it down.
It's okay. I am the president, so I'm kind of right. I'm just having too much fun. I apologize, you guys. It's been a long day. Okay, so let's move forward here. We closed public comment. So we are going to go to item number 1. Nadine, will the clerk please read item number 1 into the record?
Agenda item 1, Seattle Parks District proposed 2021 budget for briefing and discussion.
Thank you. And we have Superintendent Aguirre here. So Jesus, I understand you have a PowerPoint for us, and then we are going to discuss a couple resolutions that, and possibly vote on them. And then we have Tracy here from Central Staff to walk us through some of the issues. I'm guessing on your end, you've teed up your PowerPoint?
Yep, Board President, Councilmember Juarez. I'm going to share here my screen, I think. Hopefully you can see that.
Yeah, can you do introductions for you guys, for you and your staff,
Sure.
or who's ever there?
Yep, so Jesus Aguirre, Superintendent of Seattle Parks and Recreation. I have with me Michelle Finnegan, who's our Policy Director. And then we'll go through a presentation as you stated, Councilmember, and then we can either do questions as we go through or we can wait till the end, however you'd like to do that. I can just jump right in if we can. Oh, it worked. Just a little bit of background. We're here to talk about the 2021 proposed budget for the Seattle Park District. And just for background for folks who might be a little newer to this, back in 2014, Seattle approved the creation of a Metropolitan Park District, the Seattle Park District. And what this essentially is the taxing district that allows us at Seattle Parks and Recreation to manage, control, improve, and maintain and acquire more parks, boulevards, and recreational facilities. So the property taxes that are collected by the Seattle Park District provide funding for parks and recreation services, including maintaining parklands and facilities, operating our community centers and recreation programs, and developing new neighborhood parks on sites that were acquired by utilizing prior funding. The Park District is governed by you all as the ex officio members of the Park District Board, and there is an established interlocal agreement between the City of Seattle and the Park District, and Seattle Parks and Recreation provides services on behalf of the Park District. And this interlocal district provides for oversight, reporting, and public review of will end in 2020, and then every 6 years, Seattle Parks and Recreation would propose to the governing board, and with significant community input, the next 6-year financial plan. The first year, as I said, of the financial plan ends this year, and we're proposing that 2021 serve as a bridge year to the next 6-year financial plan. And it's important to note that this Park District funding is flexible and nimble and allows us, as you'll see in the slides, as we discussed when we talk about our overall budget, allow us to weather some of the pretty significant financial challenges we've had, both with our general fund as well as with our own park fund for both 2020 and 2021. Just a quick overview of the categories shown here on the screen. The initial 6-year financial plan for the Park District identified initiatives in these 4 categories. The programs for people category, for example, funds community center activities. Within that community center grouping, we have things like eliminating drop-in fees for some programs, expanding hours and staffing at community centers, also provides for the community grant programs such as Recreation for All and Get Moving, and also provides additional programming for teen, seniors, and special populations as shown on the screen. The excuse me, the Fix It First to the right there category provides major maintenance, which is essentially our asset management plan, really helps us maintain what is pretty significantly aging infrastructure in our system, with ongoing programs like play area renovations, renovations of our comfort stations, some ADA work, ball field, turf replacements, roof repairs, community center improvements, etc., and also provide some funding for the restoration of our urban forest. The Building for the Future allows us both to support the waterfront development as well as ongoing parks and open space acquisition, the development of the land bank sites that we had purchased with previous levy funding, and also provided for a Major Projects Challenge Fund. And then finally, the Maintaining Parks and Facilities category of funding was really about routine park maintenance, some preventative maintenance, maintaining those land bank sites that were developed, that were funded for development, and also provided for support of the zoo and some ongoing utilities costs. Oops, sorry, I went the wrong way, apologies. So, excuse me. Just in terms of our 2020 budget, ultimately we landed on a pause for the Park District as is proposed here. But you may recall prior to the pandemic, we just finished adopting a strategic plan, which was very exciting time for us. And this strategic plan was then going to lead to the creation of the next six-year funding plan for the Park District. And in fact, we held our first meeting to look at the funding, to begin those conversations with the public about the funding plan. But like everyone else, and like we discussed when we talked about our overall budget, 2020, when the pandemic came in, we shifted our operations to cover the items that you see on the screen here. We continue with community showers. We operated shelters. We continue providing daycare initially for essential service workers, and now with the school back into regular year operations, but obviously not normal. We're continuing to provide school-age childcare and some support for teenagers to connect to the services they're getting from the school district. Continuing with the work on cleaning our facilities and our restrooms. And they're really working on trying to keep our parks open within the parameters of safety guidelines, including some virtual programming that was really aimed at our most vulnerable populations, our seniors and some of our specialized population folks. Now, of course, the Park District has allowed us to weather these significant financial impacts that were part of the COVID-19 impact on us. In August, you approved some general fund realignment as part of the Park District. In line with when we submitted our 2021 proposed budget, we also submitted a Q3 supplemental that will address some of the impacts to our park fund. And then our approach for both of these has been really to look at capturing our savings internally with vacancy savings and reducing expenditure significantly, and then mitigating some of the challenges also with Park District funding. Excuse me. And so before I jump into the financial piece, I talked a little bit about this when we talked about our overall budget, but we looked at both our COVID response planning for 2020 and 2021, as well as sort of the specific financial plan. As I stated, we really were focused on retaining our resources to serve all our most vulnerable populations, and then making decisions on the allocation of resources, really with equity in mind, particularly when we think about some of the capital planning projects that we're proposing to delay or defer. Really focusing on equity as one of the key factors there. Also keeping in mind, since we're talking about facilities and capital investments, some of the other challenges around the facility integrity, environmental deficiencies, code requirements, etc. But really, as we, yes?
I just wanted to I know you're just kind of clipping along, just real quick though. I really wanted to thank you and your staff for working so closely with SDOT on the Healthy Streets We really appreciated that, particularly, well, everywhere. We got nothing but great feedback from, well, mostly, I'd say 99% were happy that those streets were closed when parks were closed, so they could actually, people could get out. So thank you for doing that in partnership with SDOT.
Thank you. I think they were very successful. I appreciate that. Well, I'll move on to give you just broad context of our budget. The circles on the left just kind of show you the Park District part of our total budget is about 21%. We receive about 40% of our funding from the general fund, 20% is part of our park and recreation fund, and then another 17% is part of REIT funding. The two circles on the right kind of break it down operating versus capital. On the operating side, most of our operations are funded by the general fund. And then our park district revenue funds about 16% of that. On the capital side, REIT funds 52% of our budget and the park district around 30% of that. So there's a significant amount of money from both for operating as well as capital for the park district.
Hey, Jesus, can you hold it 1 minute?
Yep.
Colleagues, is there any questions before we quickly move beyond the three circles here? I kind of know this stuff, but is there anything from anyone that, or is everybody okay? Okay, looks like everybody's okay. Oh wait,
Actually,
I'm sorry.
President
Councilor
Juarez.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Peterson.
Superintendent, how much of this is for the actually, I'll get back to it later when we get to 2021. Never mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, shall I go on? I keep going the wrong way, I apologize. So this slide gives you an overview of 2020 and 2021 changes both to the Park District funding. And I'll go into some of the slides in more detail later, so there might be questions there. But here, when you look at the slide, our 2020 adopted budget includes capital carry forward. So that shows the bottom line there as for both the adopted and the revised is higher than is our normal Park District budget. And then the Q3 changes that are going to be covered in the next couple of slides also are related mostly to 2020 realignments for both the general fund and the Park District, similarly to what we did in 2021. The 2021 baseline here reflects our 2020 adopted budget without the carry forward, just to show you what the Park District budget is. But it does include a 2.5% inflation rate, which is what we did for each of the first 6 years of the financial plan per the interlocal agreement. So you'll see that on that top line from 53.3 million on the 2020 revised to 54.6 million for the baseline. That reflects a 2.5% increase. In terms of the revenues, also includes an appropriation for interest on the earnings of the Park District funding, and we're proposing in our 2021 budget to use that 1.375 shown there, essentially to fund our annual wage increases for 2021, which is excluding executive level employees. But this allows us to really maintain the tax rate at the level, not to have to increase it. I'll go through that in some of the subsequent slides. So the 2021 proposed budget reflects several changes, including these funding realignments and a few technical adjustments. So sort of from a big picture standpoint, you can see on the operating expenses in the main categories there, the maintaining our parks and facilities and programs for people, you'll see more than a $10 million increase on the operation side. And then on the other side, on the capital expenses, you'll see they go down by a similar amount. And that reflects the shifts in moving from capital to operating. And again, I'll go through those in more detail in subsequent slides.
Superintendent, Madam Chair, may I ask a question? President Juarez, can I ask a question? She might be. Hi, can I ask a question?
How about we do this, guys? If you have a question, just ask. You don't have to ask me. Just go ahead and ask.
Okay.
Superintendent.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Superintendent, I appreciate your being transparent about the annual wage increase taking up that 1.3 million. As I understand it, that 1.3 million is interest earned over the last 6 years. Is that right?
I believe that's 1 year. That's the 1 year share of that interest.
Okay. So the 1.3 million is going for an annual wage increase for existing Parks and Rec employees, but Parks Department is cutting certain projects and programs or pausing certain projects and programs, as I recall from the budget presentation we received from Director Ben Noble, where he had a special slide for Parks just showing how deep some of the cuts were. And so I guess I'm trying to reconcile the providing the salary increases at a time where we're cutting Parks programs that are direct services to residents. Don't know if you have any comment on that or.
Sure. No, and I will say that these are for represented employees that are part of the agreements we have with them. Our Apex SAM and our executive level employees are being held. There are no increases for those employees. So this is just to help us meet our obligations under the agreement.
Okay, so it's because there's a labor contract that's in place for it, albeit the labor contract negotiated during really good times, and now we've got back-to-back deficits and a recession. So it's a choice that we're making. So I appreciate you're at least daylighting that. That's helpful because sometimes the wage increases get lost in the overall budget, and it's helpful to tease that out for the public. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll continue if there are no more questions, any other questions on this slide. But again, I think from a big picture standpoint, when we looked at both our 2020 as well as 2021, specifically 2020, we're looking at the impacts of COVID-19. Again, our park district, particularly with the capital projects, allows this nimble source of funding that has allowed us, frankly, to make the types of mitigate the types of losses that we're going through right now, but also including that we've made significant reductions on our expenditures. We're holding approximately 130 vacancies right now. We've been essentially in a spending freeze for quite some time. We're reducing our use of temporary labor again to try to cut the budget as much as we can while still trying to maintain our operations as much as possible, maintaining our staff. And that's been our approach for 2020 as well as 2021.
Hey, Suze, we haven't laid off. You've only laid off like one person, right? Or did I get that wrong?
No, that's correct. Well, we actually haven't laid off anyone. The one FTE that we reduced, that we proposed reduction, was a vacant position that we were proposing to abrogate and then distribute those.
Right. So we were just trying to hold those people so they could keep their jobs, right, even though they're deployed in other areas, things that we didn't contemplate. And the salary were baked into our collective bargaining agreements with the unions, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. The way we've approached these reductions is we know that at some point we're going to have to ramp back up, and depending on the health guidance, we know that our community's needs continue to increase just as COVID continues to make those needs even greater. So we wanted to be ready to respond. And as you said, Councilmember, most of our staff has been redeployed to things like the sheltering, the childcare, all of the other programs, the virtual programming that we're doing. Excuse me. So in terms of our 2020 rebalancing, this is the supplemental for quarter 3. And when we put together our 2020 budget, we estimated that our park fund would bring in about $40 million in revenue. And these are the revenues that come from permits and program fees, et cetera. And at this point, we're estimating that there's going to be a shortfall of about $19.2 million to that park fund. The way that we're proposing to meet that gap is a couple of different ways. One is by the ongoing expenditure savings, and that's again the vacancies, reduction in the use of our temporary labor and other non-labor costs. We're also received $2 million of federal care dollars to support our social distance ambassador program, and then we received a $7 million general fund support allocation. And then the bulk of it, which leaves just under $7 million, we would propose by reducing some of the projects you see here. So our major maintenance by $2.5 million, putting a hold on our Smith Cove redevelopment which again is consistent with what we did in our 2020 revised budget, really focusing on those land bank sites, but trying to maintain our focus on BIPOC communities and keeping the projects that were in those communities moving while putting the others on hold. Our Saving Our Forest, you do have a slide that we submitted that gives more background on our Green Seattle partnership related to this. And the rest of the programs, I will say that none of these, this is one time 2020 for the remainder of the year, none of these zero out these programs. Many of these programs are fund activities that we wouldn't be able to do given the pandemic. We wouldn't be able to bring people together in community grant, through the community grant programs or the urban parks partnerships. So we're proposing to utilize those savings to meet the rest of the revenue shortfall for 2019. Yes. Councilmember Lewis.
Sorry, I'm muted. I see. Thank you. So talking about Smith Park for a moment, Smith Cove Park, I understand that there's other money from King County and some other jurisdictions. I know Councilmember Strauss could weigh in on this as well, having worked with Councilmember Bagshaw on this. Does the delay of that project imperil any of that money coming from those other government sources? And is that another consideration too, in terms of the freezing or delaying of certain projects, in terms of looking at projects that do involve funding from other jurisdictions and partnerships with other jurisdictions? Is that a consideration in whether to delay certain things or to keep them on the current trajectory?
It is, and so we're working with our funding partners to identify whether that money is at risk, and we're trying to see if we can either delay that grant that was received or transfer it to a different project.
Yeah, I'd appreciate staying in touch on that over the next couple of weeks here, and maybe if you and your staff could find some time to arrange a briefing with my office on that, I'd appreciate learning a few more details.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
And Councilmember Lewis, also, this project is on the capital improvement project watch list as well.
And then I do remember our efforts to add it to that watch list earlier in the year. So I appreciate the reminder on that.
Thank you for all your efforts, Superintendent.
Thank you. Okay, well, I will, excuse me, I'll continue on the slides here. Sorry, you think by the end of the presentation, I'll go the right direction here, but, okay. So that was 2020 Q3 supplemental. As we look at 2021, we're essentially looking at the same approach. We're expecting to continue to support the community in COVID-19 response. We expect to continue the provision of these mission essential functions, whether it's the showers, the emergency child care, the school age child care, et cetera. We continue to make these decisions really utilizing an equity lens. And as you said, Councilmember Juarez, we're really looking at preserving our workforce so that we can be responsive when we begin to open back up. 2020 presented some ongoing changes in terms of our general fund and our REIT reductions, which again, we're proposing to address those through capturing savings and then using Park District funding to mitigate the changes we can't do through savings, as well as on the one-time side, which is specifically related to our park fund revenue. Same approach, one-time savings, and then looking to mitigate utilizing Park District funding. So to help address what, as several council members have stated, been pretty significant challenges, financial challenges to our budget at Parks and Recreation, as I said at the beginning, we're proposing a one-year bridge for the Park District financial plan. So we're operating normally we operate in 6-year cycles. The first 6-year cycle was scheduled to end at the end of 2020. We were scheduled to begin with a new 6-year cycle in 2021. We were not able to do the planning because of the pandemic for the 2021 and beyond cycles. We're proposing a one-year spending plan. And this one-year spending plan on the revenue side maintains the same 2.5% inflation increase as we've done in each of the first 6 years of the funding. That sets the tax rate at 21.34 cents per mil, which is a slight increase from this year, which we're at 20.7 cents. And then again, we're proposing, as we discussed earlier, that the interest savings be added as we've done in previous years. In this case, we're proposing to add it to wage inflation costs. Another aspect of our 2021 revenues, we're proposing a pause on an interfund loan payback that was due to cover the additional inflation there. And this was a loan essentially that was taken on when the Park District was first approved in 2014, went into action in 2015. We weren't able to collect taxes until 2016. So that loan was to cover the first year of ramp up activities, and we're continuing to pay that back. On the expenditure side, we're again increasing those expenditures by 2.5%, same as we've done in previous years, and we're proposing some technical adjustments there. And again, for 2021, to mitigate the losses on the general fund, which are ongoing, we're proposing a $9 million realignment, and on the for the park fund one time, just for 2021, we're proposing a $4 million realignment, and I'll go into detail in the next few slides there. So overall, for 2021, we've had an $11.4 million reduction to our general fund, and that, excuse me, the way that we are looking to address that is $2.5 million from savings funded by the general fund. That includes vacancies, temp labor, and other non-labor costs, as well as $1.2 million moving some debt service that was on our general fund account over to cover it with REIT instead. That leaves an $8.9 million gap that needs to be filled, and the way we're proposing that is, again, doing some savings on the land bank side. So this is the operations maintenance side of the land bank sites that are put on hold since those parks are not opened, and we're saving the operations and maintenance. On the land acquisition side, we're proposing to reduce our acquisition fund to $1.5 million, and that changes our focus to really look at greenbelt and greenbelt acquisitions, which are less expensive. It does leave staffing in place to allow us to continue to be ready for our acquisition. And in many cases, these acquisitions come from years and years of relationship building with the landowners who are interested in selling, and then we sort of have to be opportunistic, so that allows us to keep the staff in place. We're also proposing the elimination of the Major Projects Challenge Fund for 2021 only, and this was a project that was already actually being revised and revamped, and so when we go back to the next 6-year financial cycle, we'll have those discussions about the re-envision Major Projects Challenge Fund. And then the bulk of the savings here come from reductions in the major maintenance backlog funding. And all of these will then help shift the general fund support for the zoo and some of the support for our aquatics programs to meet that $11.4 million reduction. Those were the general fund. In terms of the one-time park fund revenue shortfall, and again, the park fund is the fund that's created by the fees, program fees, et cetera, and we, just like in 2020, we had a significant gap. We expect that for 2021, there's going to be about a $10.5 million park fund revenue shortfall. Now, I will say that this budget was built on assuming that in 2021, we would be in phase 3, hoping that if we move beyond phase 3 into phase 4, the numbers would get better. Unfortunately, part of the challenge we're facing now is that the phase 3 criteria that were put in place when we built the budget have now changed and actually have reduced when we get into phase 3, we'll reduce our ability in terms of gatherings and in terms of capacity for the building. So we anticipate that there might be additional park fund revenue shortfalls in 2021, depending on the state of the pandemic. The way we're mitigating these one-time costs, again, $6.4 million of that we're holding vacancies, et cetera. Same approach as we've done in the other scenarios. And then we're proposing a $4.1 million savings from the Park District. And that includes, the bulk of that is from the Central Waterfront, which actually is being fully backed by REIT and other funding sources. So that frees up $3.2 million within for us to use on the park fund. And then again, some savings on the Save Our Forest, Arts in the Parks, and some of these other programs. And again, this is for 2021, again, assuming that the pandemic will not allow us to operate in the same way that we would have operated, at least for part of the year. These programs are not zeroed out. It's still mainly it's vacancy holdings, and will still allow us to do some of the programming when and if we're able to come back to that. And then the last box here shows which of those lines of businesses from the park fund are supported by these reductions. This allow. So that's our 2021 Park District budget. I think in terms of what's next, and I'm going to turn it over to Tracy in a minute here, but tonight Tracy is going to walk you through a couple of resolutions allowing for this 1-year pause, as well as officially delaying the planning cycle. And then come November 23rd, you'll have some other actions to take, which including suspending the general fund floor, as well as our 2020 revised budget, which includes some park fund realignments, and then hopefully adopting our 2021 budget. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tracy. And before I do that, I just very quickly want to express my gratitude to Tracy and all her work and support as we go through this budget process. It's been one like no other, and we really appreciate your help, Tracy, in helping us decipher all of this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jesus. Before we begin, Tracy, so we will have the clerk read items 2 and 3 into the record. And so what I'd like to do is the clerk will read 2 and 3 into the record, and then we'll have the discussion and we'll vote on them separately. So we'll do it that way. And then Tracy, you just want to go from there? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
the clerk wants to read it into the record.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, agenda items 2 and 3. Agenda item 2, resolution 36, a resolution authorizing an amendment to the interlocal agreement between the City of Seattle and the Seattle Park District. And agenda item 3, resolution 37, a resolution delaying the 6-year planning cycle of the Seattle Park District, both for discussion and possible vote.
Great.
Thank you, Jody. Councilmembers, Tracy Ratcliffe, Council Central Staff. So Resolution 36 is actually the companion to the ordinance that you adopted this afternoon, Ordinance 119875, that would authorize a 1-year delay in a 6-year spending plan for the Park District in the event of a natural disaster, exigent economic circumstance, or other emergency. That delay can be renewed for another year if 3/4 vote of the district board approves such a change. And that is, I think that describes that resolution fully. And then Resolution 37, consistent with Resolution 36, that resolution would authorize a 1-year delay in the start of the next 6-year spending plan, originally scheduled to begin on January 1st, 2021, to be rescheduled to commence on January 1st, 2022. You're on mute.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So Nagina's basically a stage mom. I'm just going to say it. She's just right here. So we've been talking about these 2 resolutions and amending the ILA and moving forward to delay, obviously, the 6-year planning cycle, which was supposed to be a big thing for us this year. Jesus, we were all ready to go. We were going to have all these community meetings set up. We were going to look at all these capital projects and the new programming, and then COVID happened and we couldn't get people together. No one anticipated that this would be this exigent circumstances, but here we are. So we are making the best of it. Thank you, Tracy. So I'm going to turn it over and see if my colleagues have any questions on either Resolution 36 or 37, and then I'll pause, and then we can go right to taking the vote. Any questions from my colleagues on resolution 36 or 37? Okay, no questions. So we will move to a vote and we'll consider resolution 36 first. I move the board adopt resolution 36. Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? I see none. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Sawant,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Herbold,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Mosqueda,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
President Juarez,
Yes.
8 in favor, none opposed.
Great. The motion passes and the Seattle Parks District Board adopts resolution 36. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the resolution on my behalf? Thank you. Let's move on to agenda item 3, which is resolution 37, a resolution delaying the 6-year planning cycle of the Seattle Park District. I move the board adopt resolution 37. Second?
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Sawant,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Herbold,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Mosqueda,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
President Juarez,
Yes.
8 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you. The motion passes and the Seattle Parks District Board adopts resolution 37. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the resolution on my behalf? So with that, everybody, we're going to move into a public hearing, which is agenda item number 4. My understanding is, does the clerk read this into the record? You do, don't you? Yes, number 4 to the record.
Yes, Chair. Agenda item 4, a public hearing. The Seattle Park District will have a public hearing to accept comments on revenue sources for the 2021 operations and capital budget and a potential property tax increase in 2021.
So Jody, I understand, do we have anyone signed up for the public hearing tonight?
We do not. You still want to open the public hearing and officially close it, so we've held it.
Okay, so it's open now. We have no speakers, so now I officially have closed it.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So we are done. I closed public hearing. Let's see. Is that it? What? Just move this. Okay. Apparently I did not get the script correct here. At this time, I do not have anyone remotely present to speak. Will staff please confirm there is not a member of the public in the queue before closing the public hearing?
No, President Juarez, there is not.
Being that there's not a member of the public remotely present for this public hearing, the public hearing is now closed. Okay. So first of all, I want to thank you all for voting for me for president. Thank you very much. Thank you for voting for Councilmember Peterson to be vice president. We take this oath seriously. Just want you to know that. Anyway, let's see. The next meeting of the Seattle Parks District Board will be held on November 23rd. That's the day that Mrs. Councilmember Mosqueda leads us across the finish line with budget. And big thank you to Jesus Aguirre and Tracy and everybody and Michelle and folks for getting us here. There being no further business, we stand adjourned. Thank you.